What's up, Fresno City College students? This video is a friendly reminder from the Writing and Reading Center that during your time here, you will be asked to read and write on many different subjects.
The good news is you don't have to do this alone. The Fresno City College Tutorial Center is here to help you. And for reading and comprehension, there's no place better to get help than the Writing and Reading Center.
When you come up the stairs, the first thing you are going to do is check in with the front desk. The front desk will take your student ID number and check you into the system. Our receptionist will ask you what class you are here for and give you our paperwork called Steps 1, 2, and 3. Step 1 is a checklist of things you want to work on with a tutor. Step 2 is to be filled out by your tutor, and Step 3 is to be filled out after your session and acts like a receipt for your session. Once you're checked in, you'll be pointed in the right direction. Take a few minutes before you see your tutor to fill out Step 1. Your session starts with your tutor reading Step 1 to find out how to help you.
So that was a kind of an atypical session. Usually we work with just writing and reading, so if you have an essay or you have a textbook that you need to go over. But she had brought her flashcards, so instead we focused on that. It doesn't necessarily have to be for an English class. It could be like a biology, philosophy, political science, really anything that you have like flashcards or study tools for, and then we can just quiz you.
Study sessions are easier with another person, and that's exactly what tutors are for. Working with a tutor before a test can raise your GPA one letter grade on average.
So we just helped her go through her flashcards. She had a test that was coming up, so we just went through them. If she had trouble with one, we put it to the side, and then we came back to it so that she could get more repetitions on the material she didn't really know. So we do that as well. So we don't just do reading or writing, we do study tips and note-taking and reading comprehension. Even if we don't know the content, you might, so then you can explain it to us and we might learn something too.
This was an example of a study session.
A proofreading session is a little bit different from a study session in that in a proofreading session, we're pretty much just going to go over the paper that you have been assigned. In order to make this as smooth of a process as we can, it's important to have all the information that your instructor gave you about your assignment. This information should cover what type of paper we're writing, whether it's a compare or contrast, cause and effect, or a research paper, how many pages it should be, and what's your instructor's grading rubric. The more information you bring in, the better. It helps to have a fully thought out plan of attack when it comes to writing these essays.
Right here you have the dog wagged its tail, but the its you have right here is the one with the apostrophe. Now you want to avoid using the one with an apostrophe when you're showing ownership. When you have its with an apostrophe before the S, that's a contraction for it is. But remember that we're trying to show the ownership between the dog and its tail.
So I noticed that the student confused its and its somewhere in her paper. So then once I pointed out the difference to her between the two its, then she was able to go ahead and correct any more of those mistakes throughout the rest of her paper.
This is the type of service the Tutorial Center offers. It's not a proofreading service where you just come in, drop off your paper, and let a tutor go through it on their own. We give you the tools to fix your own paper. The difference between its and its is a great example.
Alright, so right here as you can see, use the word good, but really you should use the word well. Remember that Superman does good, but you do well.
The first thing I saw was that she confused well with good, so then we went over how to fix that.
It's the tutor's ability to speak clearly and in simple ways that make the Tutorial Center such a valuable resource for students.
Alright, so what you just saw right now is a typical tutoring session. The student came in, I introduced myself, and then we discussed what it is that she needed help with on her paper. She came in with a fully written paper, which is pretty normal, and she already had some requests of the things that she wanted to go over. So then once I found out what it is she wanted to work on, I went through her paper and started looking for any kind of recurring errors, because usually, even if a student comes in with some kind of request, there is other things there that they weren't aware of.
And that wraps it up. So come visit us, the Writing and Reading Center, located in LI 134 on the mezzanine. Oh, that's a good vocabulary word, mezzanine.